All right, what's up, everybody? One video for the week. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of combine the overview video with the one set of notes that we have to do. So that way there's only one video for you to watch and you can get all your world history stuff for the week in one spot. First of all, super sad. I'm sure most of you heard the news, but for those of you who haven't, school's officially donezo in terms of going back. So sad times that we're not going to get to all group hug it out together last day of school. Pretty bummed about that. So anyway, we got to do the best we can for this online stuff, and then we'll get a long summer, hopefully. Next year, anybody who in my class that I don't get to see this year, you guys are welcome to come back. Jolly Ranchers on me anytime. But anyway, here's this week, okay? Online learning module, top module in Canvas, just like always, okay? Top link, vocab list. Second, third link, these are the notes that I'm going to go over at the end of this video, okay? So here's the notes. Here's the fill in the blank. That's on you, okay? You're not turning the fill in the blank notes in. That's just for your purposes. At a minimum, you need to listen to the notes at the end of this video. Then you got two assignments this week. They're both very simple. First one is a Cold War crash course. You're going to click on this. There's going to be a link to a YouTube video. It's about a 10 or 15-minute video of John Green speaking 100 miles an hour. And then there's a script that you have to fill in. It's just fill in the blank. You watch the video, fill in the blanks, and then you turn it in on Canvas. You can either type it, write it, screenshot it, just turn it in the way you've turned in all your other assignments. If you ever have trouble submitting on Canvas, just take a picture of it and email it to me, and that's fine. And the next one is Cold War music. It's a worksheet. It's very simple. Same thing. Either type on it or open it up and handwrite it. There's 4 or 5 songs for you to listen to. So go to YouTube, type in the song, listen to the words. Try to find one of the song versions that have the words on the screen. And then it asks you 2 or 3 questions about those songs. And then you're done. That's all you've got this week. So it should be easy money. Shouldn't be too tough. If you've got stuff still missing from the last couple of weeks, get that in. I won't count it late. I'll count it full 100. So let me go through those notes, and then we'll call it a video. So here we go. We are now to the Cold War. All right. So World War II is over. The good guys have won. We won in the Pacific by dropping the 2 atomic bombs in Japan. Japan surrenders. Before that, we had won by making Germany surrender. So now we've won both the European theater and the Pacific theater. So now we turn our eyes to another foe, which is Russia. Now, this is kind of confusing because if you'll remember, Stalin, Russia, they were on our side in World War II, and that was because we both had a common enemy in Hitler. But all the while that the World War II was going, we knew as soon as World War II was over, we were going to have an issue with Russia. And the main issue with Russia was going to be that they were communist. If you don't get anything else from this lesson or from these notes or from this unit, it's that in the 1940s, 50s, 60s, 70s, communism, enemy number one, okay? Everything we did was for the purpose of stopping the spread of communism. Stopping the spread of communism. We're not going to have a unit test, but if we were, I would tell you that 50% of the answers are stop the spread of communism. So that's what's going to be going on today, okay? World War II is over, so now we're to the Cold War. Okay, and if you don't know much about the Cold War, don't worry, I'm going to help you out. So, nice little graphics here. Okay, the big 3 at Yalta. So this is like before the end of World War II, the big 3 leaders got together. We got Winston Churchill of Great Britain, FDR of United States. Now he's going to die and Truman's going to take over before it's all over. And Stalin. Now remember, we don't like this guy. Evil, communist, totalitarian dictator, not great. Horrible to his people. But right now we're on the same side. So this is basically, you see how they're all smiling? This is basically like the Dragons are playing on a Friday night and we're up like, I don't know, 52-0 in the 3rd quarter. And everybody knows we're going to win. The band's playing, hey, hey, baby. The bells are going. Okay. And we call timeout like at the end of the 3rd quarter. And like all of our coaches get together and we're like, hey, where are we going to eat after the game? That's what's going on right now. It's like, hey, we're going to win this war. So let's get together and let's talk about what are we going to do after the war. Okay. So Germany, which was the bad guy in World War II, is going to be divided into 4 zones that is going to be occupied by the United States, Great Britain, France, and the Soviet Union, Russia, okay? So the problem's going to be is that we wanted nothing to do with Stalin, and they wanted nothing to do with us, okay? Churchill, he actually wanted Stalin's help to build the world back after World War II. We were like, nah, we don't want that. So as you guys know, the R in Dragons is for trust, and there was no trust, okay? So they could never reach an agreement. So this is going to be a very messy post-World War world. So here's a picture of Germany. You've got the part run by France, the part run by the United States, the part run by Great Britain, the part run by Soviet Union. So basically, Germany is going to be split into East and West, with Eastern Germany being run by Communist Soviet Union, and the West being run by Great Britain, United States, and France. So it's going to be like two Germanys. The East is communist, the West is democratic. They're going to build a huge wall in the middle called the Berlin Wall. Maybe you've heard of it. Okay, so the Potsdam Conference, 1945. Stalin refused to allow elections in his half of Europe. Okay, President Trump threatened Stalin, but he wouldn't back down. So basically, Europe is going to lay divided. The East is communist, the West is democratic. Okay, so they're going to call this the Iron Curtain. Okay, basically the idea is that between the communist and the democratic parts of Europe is an iron curtain of communism, that everything on the East is going to be communist, quote, bad guys from our point of view. Everything on the West are like our allies, okay? Iron curtain. Here's a political cartoon. So Russia is going to get an atomic bomb. So now we're not the only people who own A-bombs in the world. So the point of this political cartoon is that we've got one side who has atomic bombs, the other side who has atomic bombs, but nobody wants to use them. So we're shooting bows and arrows at each other. So it's like, we don't like you. We're going to have like little small battles with you. Most times not like actual physical battles, but we're going to be like having a rivalry with you. But both sides know that they can't use their atomic bombs, because if we do, then they're instantly going to nuke us back. Or if they nuke us, we're going to instantly nuke them back. This is called MAD, mutually assured destruction. Neither one of us wanted to use our atomic bombs, because we knew if we used it, they were going to destroy us as well. So you got these two superpowers that have all these weapons, all these atomic bombs, and we're fighting with bows and arrows. That's kind of the idea of that. So the ideological struggle. So it's going to be a battle of ideas. The Eastern nations that are trying to spread communism, and our goal is containment, okay? Containment, it's ironic that we're talking about this in a pandemic time. Just like we're trying to contain the virus by not letting it spread, back then we wanted to contain communism and not let it spread. Again, if we were having a content test, half the answers would be to stop the spread of communism. Why did the United States do fill in the blank? To stop the spread of communism. Vietnam War, why? Stop the spread of communism. Why do we do this? Stop the spread of communism. You got to know that, okay? Containment, okay? So how are we going to do this? Well, first of all, spies. The KGB, that's the Russian spy unit. The CIA, that's ours. If you ever saw the show The Americans on FX, it was a show about Russian spies lived in America. It was fantastic. You're not old enough to watch it. There were some inappropriate scenes there. So absolutely forget that I said that. You can't watch it. It's inappropriate. But spies, cool stuff. We got people in Russia stealing stuff. They got stuff in America stealing stuff, trying to get information, things like that. Arms race, who can build the biggest weapons, okay? And then proxy wars. Basically, this means wars that are going to be fought in other smaller places that sometimes we weren't even actually fighting, but the fighting there is going to try to stop the spread of communism, or Russia is trying to spread communism somewhere else, okay? And then the bipolarization of Europe. That means bipolar, so bi to NATO, which are going to be the good guys, Warsaw Pact, which are going to be the bad guys. So Truman Doctrine. Remember, Truman is the president now. FDR died. Truman became president. He dropped the atomic bombs on Japan. He's the president at the beginning of all this, okay? So the Truman Doctrine was basically this. He told everybody across the world, if you resist communism, we got your back. Wherever you are, if you don't become communist, we will have your back. We will support you with our military, our money, whatever. So this is the opposite of isolationism. This is, we will get involved wherever as long as you don't turn communist. Why would we do this? Because the number one goal was to Top spread of communism. Very good. If we were in class, I would like make you say it, but it's fine. You get it. The Marshall Plan. Now, on the vocab test, a lot of people get these two things confused. Truman Doctrine was, if you don't become communists, if you fight back, we got your back. The Marshall Plan was the plan to rebuild Europe after World War II. Everything got tore up in Europe, okay? People are poor, cities are destroyed. So the Marshall Plan was this. The United States will help anybody in Europe rebuild. We will help literally physically rebuild it. We will give you money as long as you choose that you will not be communists, okay? So the plan here, and we even offered Russia to help them. The plan here was this. If we don't help them rebuild, Russia is. And if we don't, and Russia does, those people are going to become communists. That's right. And everything we did was to stop the spread of communism, okay? So now, already talked about this. Russia has A-bombs, that deal. Now, basically two sides here. NATO, the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, it's in blue. These are basically the good guys, the democratic-loving people, the anti-communist people. United States, Belgium, Britain, Canada, Denmark, France. You can read them all yourself, okay? So this is a group of people. It's an arms treaty, basically, that says that, like, hey, if anybody fights one of these countries, everybody else has got their back. The point of this is to stop another world war. So people know they can't just invade Belgium, because if they invade Belgium, all of NATO is going to have their back. So it's kind of like everybody grouping together, right? Which is kind of ironic because World War I started because of all these alliances. Now the point is we're going to make these alliances well known, so nobody's going to start a war because they know everybody's going to be involved, okay? The opposite of NATO is the Warsaw Pact. They're in red. These are the bad guys. These are the communist bros. Soviet Union, Albania, Bulgaria, Czechoslovakia, East Germany, Hungary, Poland, and Romania. Notice it's East Germany. If you go back to these times, like during the Olympics, they would have like two soccer teams in the World Cup or in the Olympics. You would have East Germany, communist, West Germany, Democratic. And I just talked about that. Warsaw Pact, same thing. Pulled together so that if anybody attacks them, they all got each other's back. That is that. Okay, that's all the notes for the week. This is the start of the Cold War. This is far from all of it. We're probably going to do this for 3 weeks. So it's very simple. You got these notes. Hopefully you paid attention and you learned something. You got the crash course, 15 minutes. John Green talking 100 miles an hour. Fill in the paper, turn it in. And then the Cold War music. Listen to 4 songs. Answer a couple questions. Easy money. That right there is not a lot of work. That would be less than 1 full day's work in an actual class. And that's all you got for the week. So there's no excuses. Get them done. If there is actually an excuse and something's going on with you, reach out to me. I'll have some grace with you. I'll help you out. You guys take care. You're the best. I'm so sad that we are done in terms of school, but I love you guys. I'm here for you, and whatever I can do, I will do. You guys have a great day.